What we're going to show you today is a selection of furniture and accessories that I've been collecting and making, and these come from a variety of sources, so I'm going to let you know, as well as I remember, where they came from. So let's start with this nice leather couch. This was actually purchased at a show, and so you go to miniature shows and you can find some pretty nice things. This is probably going to go in one of the upstairs rooms. This is a set of furniture that was purchased as is. So this was already made, and I think there's one more piece to that. Two more pieces. We have a rocking chair, and an individual chair, and a footstool. So this kind of thing is available through miniature catalogs, and I had no part in making any of this. This is all stuff that was ready-made the way you see it. Some miniatures are available as kits. This was a kit, and it's essentially card and some clear plastic that's made out of. This is also a kit. I don't remember the name of the company that makes these, but this is obviously a little pump organ. And the kit that this was made from, I can't say for sure that they are being manufactured anymore. So that company, that particular kit may be defunct, but you can still find them on eBay and such. So let's slide that over there. There is a set of things that are part of a kit that this dress form was part of. And so this being the kind of store that it is, we wanted to have a dress form. We've actually got a couple of them, I think. Here's an example of something that came already made. We picked this up at a miniature show, and as you can see, it's a quilting frame, and it has some accessories on it: a spool of thread, a pair of scissors, and I guess this is a skein of floss. So you often find things that work quite well. They're already put together. Another great source of pieces is junk stores and antique stores. Some craftsmen made this. This is not from a kit. This is not something that was made commercially to be sold. Another miniaturist made this drill press, and I found it in an antique store. That's especially thrilling for me to find something like that. This object looks like an old-fashioned stove. It is, in fact, let's see, where's the... Oh, I guess it is a stove. There are some pieces like this that look like one thing, but what they actually are, here's one, here's a gramophone, it's actually a pencil sharpener. So this was made and sold not to be a miniature in a dollhouse, but just as kind of a novelty item. But its scale is pretty close, and it works pretty well as a gramophone for a dollhouse. This is as close as I have come to carving. This horse still needs a mane and a tail, but it's a child's rocking horse. It also needs a little bit of weight added to this side so that it'll stay closer to the center. So this is a work in progress. Here is one of the sewing machines. This is another part of the kit that dress form came with. So this is a plastic kit. You would put this together with plastic cement the same way that you would put together a model of a car or an airplane. While we're talking about kits, this also is a kit. This was quite an expensive kit. This is a 144th scale dollhouse. So if we're putting a dollhouse in our 1/12th scale dollhouse, this is 1/12th scale relative to 1/12th scale, or 144th scale. This kit was laser cut, so the pieces are already nice and neat. There's some painting involved, and the shingles on the roof are actually laser cut from a sheet of sandpaper. This piece is also a laser cut kit. I'm a little concerned that this might be, it didn't come with the sewing machines, those are separate items. But this is obviously a fabric cutting table. I'm a little concerned that this might not be the kind of thing that would be in a house of this age. We're aiming to make a house that's about right for 1910. But it was so perfect for what the store is about that it was hard to pass it up. I've made several display cases, and we already have some things in them that are appropriate for a fabric and sewing store. So we've made plexiglass. The sliding doors on the back have finger holes, and they actually slide and open. So trying to be as authentic as possible. Let's just slide that on down. This was a laser cut kit, but it wasn't for this particular purpose. This is our display case for balls of crewel yarn, and we have a number of different colors. The balls of yarn are made out of floss, and we form them into this shape by wrapping them around and around through the middle of short sections of soda straw. And then there's a paper label put on the outside, and I think those labels just say 100% cotton or something like that.
100% wool.
100% wool, okay. Here's another example of the kind of thing that can be found in junk stores. This is an old-fashioned upright radio. My grandfather had a radio just about exactly like that.
Full size.
Right. I'll move that along. Oh, there goes another ball of yarn. The current plan is for this to be our counter. In the store, it will have a cash register on it, a couple of jars full of candy, and the candy is made out of just tiny little beads. So we have drawers and storage on the back side of that. So that's our checkout counter. This is a simple trestle table. This is made out of walnut that was cut from much larger pieces. So that's probably headed for one of the upstairs apartments. That will be somebody's breakfast table. Here's a simple wash stand. If I remember correctly, no, this is not one of Julie Warren's designs. This is from another source. I mentioned Julie Warren in a couple of other places. She's a great source of designs. And so the next few pieces I'm going to show you are from some of her books. This is a wardrobe. All the drawers work. Over here, rather than drawers, we have baskets. I have to do that in order to get them out. They are fabric lined, and they have cord around the outside to look like baskets. And every part of these functions. So that's a Julie Warren wardrobe. This is a large kitchen cabinet, one of her designs. This is a smaller wall-hung cabinet one of her designs. This is a kitchen cabinet and kitchen sink combination that also is one of her designs. It's a very rich source of some really nice pieces of furniture. Here's a bookcase. This is one of the pieces that we've made from walnut. Some dining room chairs. We've got a set there. Here are some chairs that are a little bit fancier. We've got cabriole legs there, some upholstery. And I would expect that this would be used as an office chair. I expect this is going to be the dining room table in the owner's apartment. It's a craftsman style. This is actually made out of basswood with strips of walnut veneer to form the faces below the edge of the table and on the edge of the table, and then veneer, walnut veneer put on the top. The bottom is made out of pieces of solid walnut. Here's a walnut plant stand. A couple of step ladders. This one is from scratch. This one is from a kit. I rather like the one from scratch better. Here's another wash stand. This one a little fancier than the one we showed before. Starting to get into a little bit of carving on that one. This is one of the few that's actually my own design. This is the workbench for the shop. So there'll be a sewing machine on top of that workbench, some loose tools. Sewing machine, I hope I can figure out a way to take it all apart. Have some spare parts lying about. In one of the other presentations I mentioned that you can do this work from scratch. You can start with a piece of wood, or you can just buy something that's already made. If you tried to populate your entire house with pieces like this, it would cost quite a bit. These are not inexpensive. I think this cost close to $40. In terms of material, this cost about $1.50. This piece is actually a representation of a dresser in my room. Some of the details are a little bit different. I think my mirror is more oval than that one. The crown here on the very top is actually made of card rather than wood. And then here's the masterpiece. This is about as good as I've been able to accomplish when it comes to having carved components of a piece. In the case of this piece, the knobs for the doors and the drawers are essentially the heads of nails. So they're round and they're brass. It works all right. This is all made out of walnut that I sawed out of larger pieces. And finally, my granddaughter made this for me to put in one of my houses. I believe one of the candles fell over. And finally, here are some of the people that can be purchased to populate these houses. Both of these were sold as 1/12 scale. One or both of them is wrong. If you just hold a ruler up to these two figures, you'll see that the woman is barely 5 feet tall, according to a 1/12 scale, and the man is about 6'2". And you can see that every other aspect of their body and their face and their fingers and everything is clearly not the same scale. So we're gonna have to populate this house with one manufacturer's figurines, and we'll need to be careful not to mix them.